Hey, Kowalsky here. It's Wednesday. And you know the deal, we're in 1927, and this is the World Chess Championship match between Alekhine and Capablanca. Now, Capablanca is obviously the defending champion, and Alekhine the challenger. I've heard many pronunciations for Alekhine, Alekhine, but I'm just gonna refer to him how we say it in our country. I'm just gonna say Alekhine. Now, Alekhine, he was a really promising young, not young at this time, but he was a really promising Russian grandmaster. And so, after winning a couple of tournaments in 1921, he challenged Capablanca for the title. But Rubinstein also challenged Capablanca for the title, and so the Dutch Federation decided that it would be best for them to have a match, a candidates match that was gonna determine who actually gets to play Capablanca. And that match, due to various claims, never came to be in existence. And then later that year, Capablanca really said that if you want to play me, you gotta raise $10,000. And for that time, that's a pretty chunky amount of money. And until 1927, nobody was able to raise that kind of money. Until Alekhine did it with the help of the Argentinian Federation, and that kind of sets the setting for the match. Now Capablanca really secured this bag with the $10,000. He received $2,000 just for being here in the event. But okay, let's just see the first game. Now it's good to note that Alekhine did not ever beat Capablanca before. He has never won a single game against Capablanca before playing this match, so that's why odds were stacked against him. And Alekhine really he was Russian, but he got the French citizenship. So once you get the French citizenship, you have to play the French defense. And he plays the French defense, and we actually have a win our French variation, delayed exchange variation, and we have seen this played also by Magnus in the Rapid. So it's something that that has been played for a long while. And Bishop d3, knight c6, knight to e2, knight g2 e7, and we have really just a tame game. Bishop f5, and everything is just so normal. I mean, this has been played a lot of times, and it's actually pretty drawish. Queen to d3, and here queen to d7. So both players, our queens are preparing to castle, connect the rooks, knight d1, now short castles. And here you see Alekhine has all this pressure against the center, but that really does nothing. And here I don't know why Capablanca didn't play something like c3. He played knight e3 and went for a trade of knights and rook f8. And here again I don't get why he didn't play something like c3. Just kick the bishop out, and now you don't have any more problems here. But okay, he saw something better. He played knight f4. He tried to kind of also get his own pressure, and after the move bishop d6, well, now he just got his rook to the e file. And Capablanca, I think, didn't mind a trade like this, and where you trade everything down, and now a bishop for the knight, and Alekhine has to defend this. But Alekhine also didn't want to do that, so he played knight to b4, and now he's attacking the queen, and Capablanca makes a slight inaccuracy. He plays queen b3. A better move would have been queen to d2, but this move, queen b3, this move gives up something really important. He gives up this square. Queen to f5 is now possible, and now this is a really big threat with the fork, so you have to defend that. Rook a to c1. But how Gotham Chess would say it, when a move looks impossible but you still play it, you pretty much win the game. And that is true also in this case, because knight to c2, knight takes on c2 is actually possible, and it's the best move. Now, this bishop is a little bit overloaded. You cannot take the knight without losing your knight, and this would probably be a draw if this trade would occur. But with this move first, now you take with tempo, so queen takes is forced, rook takes is forced, and now you don't even take with the bishop the knight, you take with the queen, because the queen cannot be taken. This would be mate. And now you're threatening mate, so g3 has to be played, and now queen back to f5, and you have destabilized. Now you cannot even take this pawn back because you're gonna lose your rook. So now rook to e2 has to be played, and now Capablanca has to defend this position. b6 and queen to b5, h5. So Alekhine comes forward, right? He takes space. He's got to find the right configuration. H4, rook to e4 now, bishop d2, and this bishop d2 move really is the final mistake, because this now just gives an advantage big enough to Alekhine. Now Alekhine just takes the pawn and doesn't worry about counterplay. Now there's a little bit of merit to this attempt by Capablanca. He plays bishop a5, and if Alekhine would not be careful and he would just trade here, now the game could possibly have possibly been a draw, but the way that Alekhine does it, he goes rook to d8, and now with this trade, there's no real discussion. Rook to e5 happens, queen f3, and now Capablanca finds a really nice tactic here. He takes a pawn and now gives a check and takes the rook here with check, and this kind of gets the position into some sort of state of equality. And this now, black is only up one pawn, but this move right here, queen d1, you're gonna see why this was really not that good. Queen to f3 would have been better, because in the event of let's say rook e6 that was played in the game, you could play rook f8 with an attack on this pawn, and if rook f6 for example, now you can just take this pawn and now it's just equal. Right, okay, you might be victim to some check or something. I don't know. There are possibilities, but you would have done something. But instead we have queen to d1, and now after rook e6, you're kind of forced to trade. If you try the same idea, now queen f5, and you don't have anything anymore. You cannot take this pawn. If you try to go back to try to take it like this, rook f6, now you're gonna get attacked here. Queen d2, you're gonna try, okay, no problem, queen b1 check. So you have a lot of problems here. So Capablanca tries rook 8, going after this pawn, and now rook e5, and this just completely blunders the game. Back to equality. Rook takes on a7, and now Capablanca simply has enough. If he plays his pieces right, he simply has enough. But he really goes wrong again with rook d7. This approach is not right. Again, he should have put pressure on this pawn right here, on the f7 pawn. Instead, he chose to put pressure on this pawn. But now everything is solved. Simply queen back to e6, and you can give a check, but just g6. And you can try to sneak in, but you won't. d4. And now, it's just a matter of time, and really, Alekhine converts this in a really, really nice way. And Capablanca is just forced to resign a couple of moves later. No discussion about this. Now, Capablanca actually won the third game, so and then after a couple of draws, he also won the seventh game. This game, I'm just gonna go through it really quickly, because if somebody wins the game, I have to show it, because it's not like Capablanca didn't do anything, right? So he also won matches. c5, knight b3, right? Just this is very standard. I'm not gonna lose time on the theory this time. Bishop takes, this is also really common, and this idea now by Alekhine is not new, but is interesting. C takes on d5 now, and this has happened before, and in that game we had knight takes on c5, but in this game we have bishop takes on c3, b takes on c3, and now knight takes on c5. Obviously the queen is pinned, but now rook to d1, e takes on d5, but rook takes on d5, and Capablanca emerges out of the opening up a pawn, and after this trade, he just has a really nice and easy structure. Alekhine kind of misplayed his hand, and Capablanca just sacrifices a pawn really nicely here. Take this with check, and then just come back bishop to e4, and now you wanna take here. You would like to do that, but you just lose because right, the queen is still defended by the rook, so no trouble there. And queen to h3, queen d2, and Capablanca just played a really nice game, and he was able to get the h file also open, and just slowly slowly marching forward, and then he was able to just get all the pawns, get a trade, get it into an end game, and I mean, Alekhine is just lost here. It's up to pawns. Capablanca played a really nice game. And then Capablanca actually won, not the next game, but he won another game. And then there were like a ton of draws. And then we have this game. This is actually game number 11. And Capablanca has the white pieces again. Alekhine has the black pieces. And we have the same kind of Queen's Gambit declined. But this time we have like the modern variation, and this is called the Cambridge Springs defense. You're just for like if you want to know. And this is actually gonna be called in a second the Capablanca variation or something. No, that was a different game. Okay, never mind. I misremembered. And here we have the same kind of idea, but compared to the other game, we don't have c5 by black, we have c6. So now really only the c4 pawn kind of gets traded, and the queen goes back, and we have, you see the same kind of pressure and the same kind of setups. a3, bishop goes back, and now bishop comes to e2, not the d3, but it's still kind of like the same idea. And this has been played actually a couple of times. We have castles, and this has actually been played by none other than Vasil Smyslov with the black pieces actually. So castles and bishop to d7. And now b4. So Capablanca again, he takes the space, he has kind of the advantage, and he can slowly march forward. And we have b6 now, bishop to c6, sorry, bishop to f3, and I mean, white's position is just beautiful, I would say, but that's not enough to win a game. So how are you gonna convert this? Well, rook f to d1, bringing in the rooks. It's a nice way. And now g3, right, securing everything, maybe preparing the bishop. This is really resembling the Catalan bishop, and we all know the Catalan is OP. Both players kind of want to get their queens out of the way, but Alekhine is really preparing c5, and when he's gonna play c5, it's gonna be pretty, I mean, a pretty important thing. Rook b1 now, trying to move the rook so that you can maybe play e4 in the future, and that's exactly what Capablanca does. But okay, now you trade the knight, and now queen to e7 is played again. This c5 is becoming more and more tempting. So bishop to h6, right? The bishop, I mean, you had to play the bishop to h6. If you played it to f6, then you would have gotten your bishop trapped. And now knight to e5. And right, just Capablanca slowly creeps in, and now g6, and now here Capablanca misses an opportunity. He plays knight g4, attacking the bishop. Bishop goes back, and now e5, which is also great. It's nice to have this bind against the dark square bishop, but knight to c4 would have been superior. I mean, I don't really understand why. I mean, I would have probably also played knight g4. That seems really natural, but it's just because if you're gonna go maybe c5, then you have like maybe a shield, and you can play d5. And if b5, then you can go knight e3, and I think this would have been something better. Now you're stopping c5. I mean, right, but okay, Capablanca plays a move that's not bad. It's not bad, but it could have been better. And knight goes back to e3 anyways. But now c5 is not stopped, and I told you it's gonna be a big boom when c5 happens. And now bc5, and now d5. Capablanca plays this very, very principled and very right. He plays this in a good style. e5, knight d5, attacking the queen, now queen to e6, and knight to f6 check. And Capablanca decides to do it this way. But now Alekhine doesn't have problems anymore. Now the position is kind of equal. If anything, Alekhine has a c-pawn, and Capablanca doesn't really have any more pressure or any more opportunity to create pressure. Bishop c6, now rook e1, attacking the queen. Queen moves, rook e3 defends the bishop. And now just c4, right? You gotta be careful. Well, you cannot take this pawn because you're just gonna lose the bishop here because the queen is attacked and the rook is defended by the queen. So a4, trying to give up a pawn yourself, but this time to go here and now just get black to be really passive. And you know, a5 is played. Alekhine is in no rush. Bishop to g2, but now we have a trade of bishops and we have officially a heavy piece endgame. And Alekhine really liked those. Queen f5, and now it's basically a grind. Can Alekhine somehow prove that this c-pawn can do something? So we just have remaneuvering of the pieces. And Capablanca picks up a pawn, but allows c3. And now he goes in attacking, but okay, king comes back. Queen slides over here, and now you're preparing a lot of things, so black has to be careful. You cannot just push. I mean, you can push, but then you're gonna be victim to this, and you're gonna have to just repeat. Pardon me. Just gonna have to repeat moves or go here, and then there's no way to push your pawn anymore. Good, so we established that there's a threat of a draw, and Alekhine doesn't want to draw, so he's gonna keep pieces on the board. And he was so right in doing that. And Capablanca plays this move queen to d7, and he's just simply losing now because of simply queen c5. And you're gonna say, well, this is basically the same position. I mean, look, this is basically the same position. This compared to this is basically the same position. But it's not, because now the queen x-rays through the rook, the pawn, so the rook is unable to move. So if you move the rook, you're gonna lose this pawn with check, and if you're gonna move the queen, you're just gonna lose. Because think about it, you don't have a square to move your queen to defend your rook, and if you're gonna simply push a pawn, well, now c2 wins because there's no more threat of the repetition, and you don't have any other moves. Like, let's say, suppose you go back here, I'm not gonna take your rook and allow this, obviously. I'm just gonna push, right? And now you're just lost again. So Capablanca tries this approach, but I said you're gonna lose this pawn, and now you're just gonna get checked, and you're gonna defend as black and just get checked here. Probably this was done for like to gain more time or something. King h5, now queen c4, queen f2, and really it's only a matter of time and it checks, right? Alekhine picks up this pawn, but here this was a massive mistake. This is basically a draw offer in a way. Because Capablanca could have played rook to c2, and I mean, let's say rook a8 is played, and this, I'm betting my house and everything that I own that Capablanca is gonna defend this endgame. Capablanca was an endgame master. He could have drawn this, but I don't know what he wanted here. Maybe he wanted to win actually, because he played a5. But you know, sometimes if you want too much, you're not gonna get anything. And Alekhine really is able to just tame the beast in this match. Plays rook d2, now forces a trade, and here, even though both players make two queens, it's actually forced mate in 3, and Capablanca is forced to resign here. Okay, like let's say queen g2, queen h1 is mate. And even in this event, I mean, black is still winning, right? Because a king and pawn endgame is different than in rook endgames. So Alekhine really grinded this game out, and he was actually able to win the next game also. I mean, right? I'm gonna show you this quickly because I cannot show you all the games, and right, because I don't have that much time. It's just a recap, it's not a series, and this again has been like a really equal position, and I close position, but Capablanca's bishop is a little bit bad right now, and Alekhine really made sure to emphasize that he came in for the king. Now you cannot go here, you're gonna get mated, so king f8 is forced. Knight check here, king to e7, he forces that, and now knight goes back to c5, attacking the bishop. Queen slides back, and the bishop is taken, and now bishop d3, rook c7. I mean, Alekhine slowly marches forward, and in the end is also able to, after a long grindy game, get his knight in here into c5, and now after this trade, really this rook is kind of isolated, and now f4 is possible. Queen slides back, but now after the knight is taken, he can just bring in the king. Now this is pinned, and Capablanca just got himself into a really sticky situation. He tries, but ultimately fails to defend his queen, his rook, and Alekhine won a really nice easy game. Now the next 7-8 games were drawn, and then Alekhine won another one, and then another like stretch of 7 games were drawn, and then Capablanca won another one, and then 2 games were drawn, and then Alekhine won another one. And that brings us to the final game. Now it's actually first to 6 wins the format. Alekhine has now 5, Capablanca only has 3, and you already know how it ends basically, but I'm gonna go through this game one last time, and I'm gonna do it a little bit quicker. But these games have been really interesting, and they're really worth looking into. So obviously you have a link to the study down below, and if you want to look at them, you can. Now here's a really nice concept. Whenever you see knight d5, you never take, you go knight d4. That's what if you play this kind of queen's gambit. This is actually the Capablanca variation. I misremembered. This setup here is the Capablanca variation. Knight to f6, knight g3, c5, and it's really interesting in this game. So why? Because okay, let's say castles, knight d3, and just look at how Alekhine really set up his pieces. This is a long range weapon. This knight, I mean, for now, yes, you cannot go neither here nor here. I mean, you can go to h5, but it's not really working. So it's really just long-term pieces. g6 by Capablanca, and now a rook to c1, and g6 obviously takes away the squares from the knights. Bishop to d7, now looking for some activation of the bishop, and rook a to c8, e4, e5, right, not allowing white to take too much space. Knight goes back, and now king to g7. So this position is really equal. h3 not allowing anything to go to g4, h6 not allowing anything to go to g5, and really the players are almost like just looking at each other, staring at each other, trying to find some sort of a plan. Queen d2 now, bishop to e6, and this bishop to e6 move allows this trade, and not only this trade, but queen a5, and queen a5 now, knight c4, and this is really complicated now. So you give up a pawn, but you take another one, but you give up another pawn, and now it's almost crucial where you come back with the knight. If you come back, let's say to d3, now rook d1 attacks the knight, you go rook c3 defending it, queen b5 attacks the knight, queen d6 defends it, attacks the pawn, knight e1 puts pressure on the knight, queen c5, if you trade, that's it. This pawn is falling, this pawn is falling, it's a draw. But Capablanca goes knight c4, and it's very unfortunate that this is defended by 2 pieces. You're not risking anything. This is losing, and Alekhine just demonstrates how. Queen b4 comes back. Rook slides over, trying to attack this pawn. Rook a1, defending it. Queen comes here, push. Now you give up a pawn, but you allow something nasty. Knight takes on e5. Everything is hanging. Knight takes on e5 is possible, but then you lose this, and then in this event, now it's not a draw anymore. The guy has an a pawn, and these pieces are way too passive. You're not gonna stop it. And so Capablanca tries queen d6 and does it this way, and now okay, you're gonna get this, but gotta be careful not to rush, because you're gonna lose your rook in the corner, and then you're gonna lose the game. So queen goes to e1, rook goes to e1, and now the only move, you have to play knight back, and if queens were traded, this would be a draw now, because there's no way to defend this pawn. So you gotta be careful with the trade that you do. But queen backs up to c1, attacks the queen sides over. And now Alekhine finally forces a trade, and I told you he likes this heavy piece endgames, especially when up a pawn, especially when having a good position. So he's able to find the right setup here and plays this interesting move. Now you're not allowed to take this pawn because this is way too strong. There's no way to stop that, so you have to stop this infiltration. But the rook comes here anyways, and g3 is played, and now we're just gonna play here by defending the f pawn. Queen goes to e8, but there's no more problems here. Now okay, you want a queen trade, sorry, you want a rook trade, that's fine with me. Rook goes here, now h4, queen h8, and simply not trading, just improving the position of the pieces constantly, not allowing any infiltrations that are, you know, gonna potentially cause any harm, and just remaneuvering. Now finally a trade is happening, and now Alekhine just finds the right setup. He brings in the king, and just I want to show you a very nice concept here. He plays this move king b3. No, you might say, well, Capablanca can pick this up and this is a draw. Well, it's not a draw. It's not a draw, because just this happens. And now just f4, for example, king f8, f5. Oh, g takes f5. Oh, this is a draw. No, it's not a draw. It's not a draw. It's not a draw. It's not a draw, right? Black is lost. So right, Capablanca is stuck in this position where he doesn't want to allow Alekhine's king to come in, but Alekhine's king comes in anyways. And right, f4. Oh, you want to get here, get this. No, you're not gonna come here. Oh, you're gonna go there. You're gonna defend this pawn. f5, just like in the other variation. Okay, I'm gonna disabilize you. Okay, well, you're gonna come in and defend. Okay, king g7. Okay, you're gonna go here. You're not taking this. Oh, you're gonna do this. No problem. I'm just gonna go back to e4. If you take, this is now forcing the rook trade, and you're lost. This was played, but now, I mean, yeah, you can take it, and this might be sometimes a draw, but not this time. Not this time. I mean, white is just too active, and Capablanca resigns the game and the match. Now Alekhine is a new champion, and we're gonna see next week who he faces. I still want to the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit longer, but the games were really tense and interesting. I see you on to the next one. Kowalsky